No, could do another one of them. A dodgy throat I got.
The hair looks lovely.
Well, I thought I was on camera, so are we on? We're good to go. Right, so we are Indie Cold Club. This is our pilot / trial episode 1, whatever, of our Indie Cold Club.
Have we got a name for it yet?
I think we might just stick with Indie Cold Club. Well, I think Harvey's keen with Indie Cold Club.
Indie Cold Pod. All right.
Harvey is filming this. You can't see him right now. This is Nigel, as you probably know, and I'm John, as you probably know. From time to time, you may see Jax. She's about, but we've not got a big enough sofa at the minute. So that's where we are. Today, we're going to talk about different subjects as we go through this. And our first subject we're going to talk about is the demise of guitar bands, which is obviously a bit of a hot topic at the moment.
As we know it.
As we know it, which there may or may not be a demise, but
right,
we think there probably is.
Okay, I think in this industry, and I think it goes in the whole of the industry, it's all secular. What's the word? Circular, yes. Circular.
That is true.
So, you had guitar bands in the 60s, and then that sort of changed. Then they came back in the 70s with punk, and then that changed. Your New Romantics weren't particularly, that was electronic, and then Britpop came along now at the moment, the trend seems to be singer-songwriters,
yes,
soloists as such.
Yes.
That
is the charts as we know it. We did hear, we don't know exactly the fact, but we did hear that I think in the last 18 months or something that only 3 bands have been in number 1 in the charts.
Correct, and one of those was the Beatles. That was the 60s.
which is ridiculous. And that's kind of, I suppose, where we're at. So we are hoping that this is only a blip, and in 2027, 8, 9, 10 or whatever.
Yeah, it will come back.
Hang on, that's wrong.
I'm not the biggest fan of singer-songwriters. Music is all very samey, in my opinion. But I just think the industry at the moment is in a bit of a poor shape as far as quality of the music that's out there.
Has that got anything to do with all those X Factor type programs?
Probably. Yeah, could well be.
Major on all those things. And is it also social media where you can literally stand in front of a microphone at home and produce a song?
Yeah.
So if that's the case, maybe is that going to come back? Because the social media thing has maybe spoiled that you've only got people who can sing at home and produce a song.
Yeah, but that's not a reason that it will never come back. I think it will come back. I just think it's a trend, and at the moment, trends do expire. And this thing about a very nice chap sitting on a stool or whatever, or standing in front of a mic, is going to disappear. I mean, you say about bands. I mean, Sam Fender, huge guy.
Yes.
He is a band, even though. So is that a band or is that a singer-songwriter?
No, that's a band. Yeah, that's a band.
But is Sam Fender on his own?
Well, Sam Fender's, he's the artist, Sam Fender, but he has his own band that is in Sam Fender, so I guess it is part of it.
Yeah, it's a bit like, there's probably a few like that, isn't there?
There's a few like that.
But I went to a college the other day where there were 17-year-olds producing songs. It's a London college, and it was their first show, so they put it out. There was 5 or 6 bands. I say bands. Every act was very, very similar. They had a keyboard, they had a guitar, they had a drum, but in the front of all that, they had 5 or 6 rappers or harmony singers, I suppose you could say. Very much like you'd see on Britain's Got Talent-y thing, that kind of thing. And they were all very, very good. But I just came away, and the first thing I said to Jax was, there's not a band. There wasn't one band there where the drummer was at the front and the guitarist at the front. They were all at the back, backing the singers at the front. And I just thought...
And the singer was a focal point.
Singers a focal point. Most of them rapped, or in that hip-hoppy sort of vein. And I just thought, again, that's the 17-year-olds today. It's just disappointing in this really good college with a really good music background.
That's what the kids like at the moment. The 16, 17-year-olds.
Because they see on the telly.
Because they see on the telly, they see on the social media.
Yeah,
and, it will come back. I've got no doubt it will, but at the moment,
is that again shifting in though? Is that then going into what we talked about, this southern area. So we live
Yeah.
near London, and there was once a time when if you wanted to be successful, you came to London, and it got picked up by record companies and all the rest of it. And London was the hub of the music industry. That seems to have shifted, or maybe bands seem to have shifted further north. And now,
I don't know. Did the Beatles come down to London, or did they forge their life in Liverpool?
they probably started that, but didn't they come
I don't know,
down Abbey Road and all
I
that?
know they did Abbey
I
Road,
don't know.
That was a bit later in their career.
I suppose. I don't know. There used to be that thing about potentially
Yeah,
London was perceived anyway.
yeah, it was
being
because all the record
thing.
companies were based down here.
Yeah, and I don't know. Again, if we're having this conversation where we are located, would we be having this conversation if we were in Nottingham or Yorkshire or Manchester? We probably wouldn't be having the same conversation because I'm guessing I don't know that the bands up there are still bands.
And as we have seen, a lot of the bands, I don't know percentage-wise, but a lot of the bands we have at the club are from up north. North.
Yeah, and they are very willing to travel for not a lot of money to get their name out there.
Exactly.
And I wonder whether it would be the same in reverse, whether you get a lot of people who are from London who would travel to Yorkshire to do their thing for what is little money.
Yeah.
I don't know whether they do that.
What I have noticed up north, my son goes to university up in Loughborough. I go to Nottingham quite a lot. There's a couple of clubs in Nottingham, indie clubs, and they have local. No, you can depends what you define as local, but they have local band nights every night of the week.
Yeah.
Now, that's because there is a vast number of bands, and these are bands. They're right. They've got some solo people as well, but they're all bands, and they're all based up Nottingham, Manchester, all around that area. We don't have that lump of bands down here that we couldn't put a band night on every night of the week because there aren't the bands down there. So up north there is this there is a vast reservoir of bands trying to get out, which you don't see down here.
Yeah, I think even Chinnerys Live and Local, they do once a month.
Once a month.
I think they struggle sometimes to get the bands, which is, I mean, that it just seems a bit of a shame. But again,
there is definitely that north-south divide where all the indie bands, as you would define an indie band, are north of the Watford Gap. They all seem to come from up there.
Yeah, I remember talking to the one of the TM for I think it was the Kairos or Head Feeder, and I said, we'd like to go and open up indie cult clubs further in the north, and he said, I wouldn't bother, mate, because there are hundreds of them, and that hit home as well, the fact that there aren't any down here. There's not an I don't know of any under indie club. Obviously you've got Pink Toothbrush, which is
that's a
DJs,
nightclub.
After that there isn't very many, and I don't know if there's, I don't even remember or recognise there's many in London.
I don't know one of London in London. There must be there, but I don't know them.
I mean, I went to the Garage to see a band, and I thought, Garage, this is spot on for us. It was, I think, 600 people. It was good and grubby, and right in the middle of a proper part of London. I thought this would be perfect for another indie cult club night. But you're thinking, hang on, if there's none here, you think that would be good because then people would come. But if there's none here, maybe they wouldn't come because they're not interested.
I think maybe the model in London is slightly differently because you have loads of pubs like that place, like you've got the Camden Assembly where we're going tonight, where they have bands on a lot, but it tends to be like it's not a club night. They just have bands coming and going as they do, which is a bit different to what we sort of do.
I wonder whether Camden's a good barometer because, again, years ago, Camden was the place, wasn't it? You got all those places were thriving every night. I wonder, well, perhaps we'll see tonight on a Wednesday night, you go up to Camden and whether it's quite the same. Yeah. Whether maybe it's not quite as buzzing. Maybe some of those places have closed. I mean, the Monarch, I'm not even sure the Monarch still exists. I'll have to check.
Monarch used to be, the Monarch went to the Barfly and then went to the Assembly. If it's the same Monarch.
No, I think the Monarch was I think I went in the Monarch a couple of years ago and it wasn't the same.
Oh, right, okay.
I could be right, but there are a lot of places. I wonder whether Camden still has that, where you every night of the week, but like you're saying in Nottingham. If that's changed, then I don't know where we are with that.
Yeah, yep.
But yeah, so that is the state of the music industry right now. Maybe it's not what we're thinking is ideal. And some of these bands, I mean, again, we're seeing the Kairos.
I think it's the Kairos. We'll get that confirmed tonight.
Confirmed. We're seeing that band tonight who are coming down from Liverpool. They're on tour. They are performing in what is a relatively small venue in Camden. And they are probably, out of the bands we've had at Indie Cold Club so far, they're probably one of the best bands we've had. I mean, technically...
At support level. Yeah.
At support level.
And probably total level.
You could argue.
Yeah, you could argue. I mean,
definitely
definitely one of the best support bands we've had.
Yeah, very good band. They're playing in a relatively small venue in London, and they are absolutely classy.
Hot. Absolutely hot.
Which again, maybe that shouldn't they be doing bigger? They're better. You could argue they're better than the size of the venue they're playing.
Yeah.
So shouldn't they be bigger? And is it just a state again of the way things are that a band like the Kairos are not bigger than they are, not playing bigger venues because they're absolute class.
Yeah, they are class, and they will. One to look for next year, definitely. Keep an eye out for them.
We will keep an eye on them ourselves so we can bring them back again. But that's maybe they are.